Death
Prophet
Prophet.
Okay,
For
this
SMG. I'm liking this lineup a lot from
this
Team
looks really
SMG.
bad for Execration. Like, this draft is so solid already with just the 4 picks. And Execration, they have a lot of problems to solve. And SMG didn't even pick the 5th hero yet.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remain.
And they have 1 pick to
5
figure
seconds.
out how they're going to counter everything so far. Because XtcN, Ancient Apparition, that's a solid duo in supports. You've got Lockdown aplenty with CK and Nyx. You'd like to maybe get 1 more pick in there to give you a little bit more lockdown.
Yeah.
Like,
They want some more wave clear. So I'm expecting a carry CK.
okay.
Like an offlaner with a wave clear would be really good. Like some Axe or something like that. Just a hero can push in lanes really, really easily. Because the problem now for Execration is XtcN counters a ton of heroes and AA counters a ton of heroes. Which is why I said I like the support duo together. Like, you don't really feel comfortable picking many heroes into these two.
Right.
5 seconds
Like,
remain.
I would say Tinker is pretty damn good for Execration here, but do you want to pick Tinker against XtcN? Probably not. Like, it doesn't feel good at all. Same with like Alina. Do you want to pick Alina into an XtcN? It can work, but is it great? No, it's not.
Medusa, Brood bans in this phase.
And if they got their hands on a Medusa on Team SMG, this would be
One go like
insurmountable,
offlane
I
CK.
think. Yeah.
Would you do like a offlane Mars, safe lane CK?
Yeah, it can work for sure. I mean, I'm expecting the CK to be safe then already because AA CK is just such a strong lane.
Right.
And then XtcN. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Darkseer, honestly, here for Execration as well. You lane into the Lifestealer, but it helps your team fight quite a bit. If they don't want to go that route, they want to go more stuns. Mars is decent too. It's just Lifestealer is really good against most offlaners that they have left now. Or they could potentially put a DP offlane, which is pretty good against Lifestealer, and then put another hero mid lane. And if they want to do that, then what's good for the mid lane?
We'll have to see what they're thinking. I think we'll get obviously we'll get a little bit more of a hint of it with this ban. But SMG using a lot of reserve time on this final ban.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a Magnus last pick here, honestly, for SMG. You put a DP offlane, you pick a Magnus, and your lineup looks so damn good. Magnus CK is also an amazing duo. They have more BKB lockdown with it.
Empower, get yourself ahead.
Yeah.
They're gonna ban
the Bat Rider?
the Bat Rider, and now you've got a ban for Execration. Not a lot of reserve time to play with this. Not a lot of reserve time to think about what you even want with that final pick here for Execration. So you really need to kind of understand what SMG want. They're gonna ban out the Morphling. So
They have a second life, though. Execration does. It's all or nothing now for Team SMG. And let's see what they last pick. If it's not a Magnus, it could be a mid DP also, because of course Moon loves his DP. You can just pick another offlaner as well. Like a Wind Ranger could be pretty damn good.
right.
5 seconds.
Not really sure what their thought process is. His DP is a very open pick. And it's going to be
Ooh. Razor.
Razor. Okay. I mean, that is something we don't usually see
Is
in
it
the offlane, but it's an amazing hero against Lifestealer.
That was my question. Is it offlane Razor or offlane Death Prophet mid Razor? Or do you just
I
want
think it
him
will
up
depend
against
on what they last
Lifestealer?
pick.
Seconds remain.
Like they'll... Like Lina seems for me like the best pick they could possibly get here. It's not that great against Nyx, but it is really good against DP in lane, it's really good against Razor in lane.
They go
And they
Magnus.
go for the Magnus.
Okay.
Alright. So they're going full mid-late game here. They have 0 damage early game. Like, literally 0. And I'm very worried for them. But if they can survive into the mid game, which they have last game somehow, then it can work. So it's a mid-Dragon Knight offlane Magnus. Which means DP is gonna free farm, and CK is gonna free farm, And Razor is going to free farm too.
Okay.
Very nice. I think SMG got this. Like, the draft is really favoring SMG this game.
I feel like we said that in the last game too.
Yeah, but it was a 5 cap in 8 minutes. Don't forget that.
So yeah, so is that the plan here from Execration? Let them get up 5K
I mean,
and then go the
I
other
don't,
way
I
around?
don't think that's something you can play for, but maybe they have some hidden technology we don't know about. They definitely put this tree in again to stall out the game, but this time around, their push is a lot more aggressive. Like, you put this DP ult on, and the tower will fall, whether there's tree in armor or not.
I mean, was their tower push not that aggressive with both a Beastmaster as well as a Nature's Prophet in the previous game?
It was. It's just not as fast as a DP just running up your high ground and
Using Exorcism.
using Exorcism, yeah. But
Okay.
that wasn't even the problem last game anyways. Like, they just suddenly fell apart in terms of map movement. And I think this game, it should be a lot easier because they got XtcN, who can just run around, set up kills for your cores. I'm really liking this lineup here for SMG. But Execration, as I said, come mid-late game, they will have an abundance of damage and disables. It's just, I don't know if they will get there or not.
Right. We'll have to see if SMG can stay alive.
They
Yeah.
have to. If they want to win, I mean, if they want to go to TI, they have to win this game, right?
Yeah. That's
No
what's on the
more
line.
losing allowed at this point.
Prepare for battle.
Can't lose. Can't give anything up. Have to win. Do or die. Question is, do they have it? Do they have what it takes with this lineup? Are we going to see a different game here from Palos? Because
I mean-
his early game was rough.
Alright, Bkop, you know, we, as casters, you know, we always want to be objective. We want to be hype and everything, but I really think this draft is so one-sided. It's probably like 80-20 for me.
80-20. I don't think I heard you say 80-20 all DPC.
Okay, so, yeah, I have actually not. It's just, your hard carry is countered by a Razor. DP counters all of your cores. You have 0 damage. You have no tower push until DK gets online, but he can just die so easily against AA. Like, wow. This is a sick draft. And you can use the term sick as, however you want to. For both teams, it's applicable.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's sick and it's sick.
How sick is it?
Yeah.
Radiant versus
So it's
And
all,
it's a first
all
blood
about the
also.
inflection, you know? Oh yeah, Enchantress going down here
and we're already looking for
That's a first blood and
for Moon.
4 bounty runes.
Oh my god, yeah. 1K lead. 10 seconds into the game.
Oh man. This might be a quick one. Well, we said the last game, so let's see what happens. But yeah, it's whether you win or lose after this game, you gotta go back to the draft whiteboard.
Okay.
For this Execration team, I mean.
Draft whiteboard. We'll see if Execration do in fact lose.
But they switched up their lanes at least, so they're going aggro trialing and then putting Magnus against the Razor. Which is a lot better, because Magnus can last it even through the static link because of his empower damage.
And one losing his career. All right, RR is not ready to give up just yet. You've got Yoey taking a lot of damage over mid, and we're already looking potentially at that combo between Raji and mid one, having that Chaos Bolt, having the Cold Feet, and then eventually you'll have that Reality Rift and the Ice Vortex slow, which could be a problem.
Yeah. Also, I don't think there's a hero I trust Moon more on than a Death Prophet. I think historically he has been doing really well on that hero.
Do you think we saw one of the heroes he's least reliable on, and now one of the heroes he's most reliable on?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, his Storm isn't bad, honestly, like mechanically and everything, but he just has a lot of moments where you're scratching your head. Like, no, that was unnecessary.
Right.
But with DP, he usually doesn't have that. He has a very solid game plan and understanding of how to play the hero.
Alright. Typical Dragon Tail, not doing anything with it though.
Yeah, I'm surprised that his Trident is not doing a little better. CK is actually ahead of Lifesteal net worth by quite a bit. Of course, also because of the bounty runes, but he shouldn't be farming so much here.
So, what lane right now for you, I kind of asked you this last game, is most important for Execration? Because it seems like every lane is going to go well for SMG, but what for Execration needs to go right for them to have a chance?
I mean, they're putting so many resources top, like they have to absolutely make sure the CK doesn't get any farm. But so far he's getting a lot of farm, which is not good. A might be getting caught out of here though.
And they get the kill here on Raji. They've actually got a stun now on to BDZ.
One more crit.
Can they get the kill?
Oh, I didn't get it.
Oh? And he doesn't have Reality Rift. He has Chaos Bolt in 1. He's out of range.
No, if that last was a crit, 30%. Never lucky. Like, they can't be allowing SMG to pull here. There are literally 3 heroes here. This should not be allowed. Like, this is the most important lane for them. And they're sort of not winning it.
Right.
Which is a problem. Because Magnus is not going to get much down here at all. He's sitting at 7 CS, Razor at 23.
Ooh, skewer back. Full tower shots, Afu. Not really too worse for wear there. But ooh, as that's happening, mid one getting a kill on to RR up towards top.
That's the lane where I expect Execration to die the least. Okay, his top lane is a little bit of a disaster.
And top lane not really going that well. Like RR, he's made something happen in terms of like getting the courier, but they need something more than this. They're gonna go for mid one for a second. Throw the Nature's Grass down. A 2-second stun on a Palos with Raji here as well. So we shared a tango.
Yeah, there will be a lot of pressure on this Dragon Knight to make things happen soon. And he's just a Dragon Knight, you know? It's not like a flashy puck that can get like a 4-man coil or anything like that. Like, you know exactly what a Dragon Knight wants to do.
So 1k lead, not the 5k we saw before at this point.
Yeah, a little bit better damage control.
At least for now. Yo, he's got himself almost 6. I say that though. Nico goes down to the bottom lane. His KP, he'll grab a kill there, taking 72 damage on the static link.
Yeah, at this point he's just... Magnus is kind of out of the game. 9 CS, lower net worth than the Enchantress even.
Cold Feet. Rage that off. BDZ's here. They've caught Raji. Thunderclap coming in. Cold Feet out. Onto RR. They've got the Reality Rift back, but mid one won't have the damage nor the help to get this kill onto this Treant.
And Moon is rotating bottom.
There is little hope for Dire's
With the DP ult, getting his boots as well. This tower should be gone. There's not a whole lot they can do to defend this one, I think.
Yeah, Nico might even
Nico
just
has no
die
TP.
for this. Yeah, he's got no TP. He's going to try and skewer away, but... Static Link, Exorcism, just buying some time here. Eventually, good stun from Opvo. And that should be not only the kill, but the tower.
Yeah, but at the same time, at least Dragon Knight is damaging mid tower quite a bit. It's going to be at about half health. But a safe lane tower is of course one of the most important in the game. Getting it this early is very important. CK is actually just standing up there and fighting. Pretty crazy.
He's doing
But he
that,
might
but is
pay
that
for it
going to
now.
cost him his life? 2 TPs come in, and PDZ will take that last shot on him with the Impetus Strike.
I noticed it quite a bit actually when mid one plays carry. Like, he's always no matter what, standing his ground. Whether it's a good trade or not, like he's just like, I'm the boss, what do you want from me? And this time he paid for it again. Like you're not as strong as a mid hero at this point, you know? I feel like he's still in his mindset that he's like the strongest hero on the map. Nah, you're just a CK. That doesn't really do a whole lot at this point.
He's coming back, has KP, has everybody. And Palos, he'll rage, he'll try to survive, but the damage is too much. KP's gonna get the kill. He's got 96 on the static link. It's an easy one there for him.
No, at least it's giving a little bit of space to the Magnus. He really needs to get back into this game. And they got a tower. So now the tower count is even. Exorcism up in 50, so they'll probably be looking to pressure the mid tower with that one after that. Magnus going into the mana boots. So probably looking for Blink Greaves later on, just to make his team a little bit more survivable.
Dragon Tail coming in. Oh, he needs to be careful. Stun out from Afu, and he's gonna freeze over. They've got Spirit Siphon on him, Spike Carapace, and Yoi trying to stand his ground. Now coming in from the side is KP. They got the kill on Afu, but the Crypt Storm is there. Moon gets the kill on Yoi.
Yeah, a lot of news coming out from Moon. That 5-second cooldown on Crypt Swarm. He actually maxed it out rather than maxing out Spirit Siphon. Leading to a good kill there, and CK finally TPing bottom just to be able to farm a little bit safer and more efficiently. But a gold lead is not growing at all, actually. Like, they're doing good damage control here on the Execration side. Considering they start with the first blood and the 4 bounty runes, they're actually doing way better than I thought they would. Palos just farming away with Empower.
Sun comes down on BDZ.
Yep.
Enchantress very dead, and I mean, do they have anything in return? It doesn't look like it.
They do have DP ults, so they're probably looking to pressure mid tower relatively soon. But it's not that easy right now against the Treant, because the living armor is going to pose a lot of problems against this level 1 Exorcism.
What does Nico have right now? Just Arcane Boots and 1,000 gold, but he'll throw the Empower on the Palos, who's going into the Sange Deso.
Yeah, no armlet. Very interesting. Usually, lifestealers always build armlet nowadays. Just seems like the best value item for the gold that you spend. Okay, SMG taking it slow. They've had Exorcism up for quite a while, but not really looking to make any moves. Just farming up some items. AA now reached level 6. Nixus has an only level 4 though. Is the tome coming out to him? It is. So he's gonna hit 6 with that. And now we have our killer combo online. AA Nyx can kill almost anybody on this Radiant side.
Right. Ice Blast, Vendetta should be an easy kill on just about anybody. The question is, will they use it? BDZ, he's in here in the dire jungle just trying to farm up a little bit. He's already got the early medallion going shreds. We've seen this from some enchantresses where they kind of build a little bit more core-y, if that makes sense. A little more core efficient.
I actually quite liked it as well because they have a severe lack of damage. So him building treads early on will mean that they have a bit more damage output. Maybe they will turn a fight or two around. They actually scouted the Nyx in the Vendetta.
I don't know if that's going to help him. RR already looking dead, but he's got the overgrowth on a 3. Not going to matter. He'll still die.
Yep. Goodbye, Treant. They're looking for a kill on the CK here, potentially. Pulling him back in.
Can they get mid one? Skewer. And now the RP line up well. Dragon Tail to follow it up, but they've got the static link. They've got the Ice Blast flying in. That's going to land on 3 of these heroes, and that's going to be a big problem because they've got KP moving in with Yoi. They'll get the kill there onto the Dragon Knight. They'll take out Palos. That's 2, now 3 with Nico falling.
All 3 cores down. Remember we spoke about earlier that they have no damage whatsoever? Becomes very obvious right there.
Yeah.
They couldn't kill XtcN with like 2 ults expended and a lifesteal right-clicking him like 20 times. That's why I'm very curious here about this itemization of lifesteal also. Like Armlet gives you a lot of early game damage, whereas Sanj doesn't. And they already lack damage, and then he itemizes into items that don't give damage. A bit of a question mark there.
Yeah, very odd for them to try and make something like that happen. It feels like
at least it's 2 supports we're farming.
Yeah, well, what are they gonna do for you? That's
Not
the
a whole
thing.
lot, I'm afraid.
Exactly.
Mid one completed his armlet, so his damage output in teamfight is going to be absurd. CK doesn't really need a whole lot of items. There's 1 armlet, couple of levels, and hero's going to hurt.
So
Razor going straight into the BKB.
it's still a close game though, right? You've got only a 3k lead, but is that 3k lead deceiving?
It's very deceiving, I think. Right now, Execration has 0 fighting power. Like, I think they could RP 5 heroes, and they wouldn't kill anyone. Maybe 1 or 2 heroes. And they would still lose the fight afterwards. There's just such a severe lack of damage that until this lifestealer has more damage items, nothing can be done for them, really. And I'm just really afraid, like, nobody's building damage. Dragon Knight is building straight blink, no armlet on him either, or any sort of early game damage. Treant is a Treant, and Lifestealer is a tickle monster at this point.
They're gonna go for the mid-tier 1 and grab it. So unfortunately for RR, it's not like last game where he's given all this time to heal up these towers and make them kind of reset and go for it again.
Yeah. So once this Desert comes out from the lifesteal, I think that's when they want to start striking. Should be somewhat in line with the Dragon Knight blink. And Magnus also just finished his blink. Oh, you gotta deal with this before you smoke, guys. Oh, they're looking for smoke. But they're right on the ward. Nice D-ward, okay. Good stuff. But again, even if you smoke now, do you have damage to kill anyone?
I'm not.
I think they also realize that the answer is no, so they don't smoke up. And they're waiting for this lifestealer Desolator.
So it would have to be a perfect initiation, right?
Yeah, 100%. On the right heroes also. Razor, his BKB is flying out now. So he's gonna be an almost impossible target to kill. Unless you RP score him before he gets it off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they all convert into the bot tower. That's all 5 SMG heroes down here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They don't have the best push lineup this game around though, unless they use Exorcism.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fake pumping, but he's so close to level 12, you don't really want to use it right now if you can help it.
Try and hold it if you can, but he'll end up using it. He was really close to 12. I feel like he could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 creep camps, but I'm actually not sure if they can get this tower. They might have to use Phantasm as well. The Treant armor is causing a lot of problems.
They have Blink RP. This could be a problem for SMG if they stay too long. They've got themselves the 2-man RP. Can they get the kill here with the Skewer back? They're going to try and get this ulti and do something with it, but the Overgrowth, Moon, mid one gone, and the tower survives.
I just don't understand.
Dire's top tower is
What is this movement? 3 heroes are going top and both of them are just pushing bottom alone? This is just like last game. What is happening? Like they're crumbling once more. Now Lifestealer has a Desolator completed and this bottom tower is just gonna get healed to full by this Treant. They've literally just done the same thing as last game. Man, I'm a little bit
confused. I can see you scratching your head. I took a glance at the webcam with how I can hear.
I mean, it's just a little bit unbelievable. Like, both of these heroes would just stay down there, posturing like that, and then they don't get anything done on the other side of the map either. They just lose 2 heroes for free. Now gold is down to 1k from 4k again. And this lifestealer is sitting at the top of the net worth with a good damage item now, in the form of the Desolator.
This is similar problems to what we saw in game 1.
100%.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But this time around, the draft is much easier to execute. They just really need to stick together and get their game plan in check.
Disconnect there from BDZ.
That's a good pause to get into the enemy's head. You know, you always gotta do that after you win a team fight. You just gotta say lagging and disconnect. Like, you kill 3 heroes, they kill nothing. You just say lag and you disconnect. While they're still dead, of course. This was a bit late, but
And just a little bit late.
yeah, they don't have the mind games down yet.
Try and see if I can fix my own FPS troubles. Do I get to disconnect and reconnect? Do I have to wait for somebody to go down before I reconnect?
You can do it either way. That's fine. I can go down for you.
No, I'll figure it out. I think things feeling a little smoother.
Why you figure out there?
And
I
as
think it was also a consequence, though, of using a level 1 DP ult rather than level 2, because the tower would have
True.
been gone if it was a level 2 DP ult. So everything is not really coming together for SMG. They're not out of this game at all. Their draft is still way better, but they made it more interesting, which is not what they want.
Now, is not waiting for level 12, like we were talking about how they're playing individually. Is that an individual move to make that decision, or is that something you think he was told, just use it, go?
That's a very good question, because if I'm the DP there, I'm like, nah, I don't want to use it, because I'm like 200 XP off level 12, right? So it must be a team call. And now they're just going to the Roche pit. They'll have to trade a tower for it, but I think they're sort of okay with this, because they're not the best Aegis holders on the Dire side. Like CK, if he dies, that means his Phantasm is probably gone too. That means he's not very efficient. Same with DP. Maybe Razor even takes it. Oh, they're giving it to the CK.
But now that's
But they gave him
exorcism
a lot of
down.
space. They just want to farm out their Bkps right now on the Dragon Knight. Enchantress is going for a Dragon Lance. Okay. She's going to be hurting a lot too. And it's not an easy kill.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple times where you just get these enchantresses that get just a little bit too much space, and now they hurt from a distance.
Yeah, I mean, he has more net worth than his own Magnus. Nico has been playing a very sacrificial sort of game. And Lifestealer is still countered by Razor. So it's not like he's just gonna single-handedly take over the game for a while. But they have good tools now. They have both Blink Daggers, they can skewer people, they can Dragon Tail people. They have Overgrowth as well against the Razor BKB, so they got a lot of good things going for them. Nyx Assassin though. Is Edge gonna solo kill him?
He might. He's got the soul with the enchant. He's putting out a lot of damage. He's got the dust. They're going to try and turn this around and maybe get the Ice Blast on him. Reality Rift, and he didn't get hit by that Ice Blast. BDZ is opening up a lot of space. 3-second stun, impale in, and eventually the Crypt Storm kill.
Which is now also the Aghanim Scepter for Nyx Assassin. We have seen so many times how impactful it is.
Yeah, and RR now going down to KP, who did use that BKB. That's the 9-second BKB to get that kill.
Yeah. And finally, for the first time, mid one is using a Phantasm to farm and push out lanes. I've been missing this the entire game, because this is how CKs get rich. But he hasn't done it so far. Now he started doing it. Good stuff.
Afu's sitting mid with this Axe.
Yeah, this Axe could be absolutely game ruining for Execration. I'm a big Nyx spammer myself. Every time I get axed, I suddenly just win the game.
Percent that it changes the game for you, you think?
Yeah, it's just way too good. Like, it upgrades everything you do. And you take half damage.
Ooh, Ice Blast. They were looking for Palos there. Didn't quite spot him. He's into the trees for a second. Now they've got eyes on him. Not gonna matter though. Rage TP out.
No, they have no BKB cancel.
And
Nyx gets taken down.
will end up dead here. So now you're without that Nyx Ags to make things happen for 40 seconds. The question is, does Execration take advantage of that, or do they just use their time to farm?
He got RP'd though, so RP is down at least. Had to expend it to kill him. And I think they just want to use this little time they have here to maybe try and finish the BKB on the Dragon Knight. He's 1,000 gold away. That would be a big pickup for him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going bottom to try and take this tier 2. Dragonlance, now Solar Crest being built for the Enchantress. BKB next for the Dragon Knight.
Radiant's bottom tower
Will they
Lifestealer trying
finally
to get
get
into
it?
Scotty.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, the tower looks pretty dead this time around.
We'll see. There's the heal. It's
Nah,
not
not
looking
this
like
time.
enough. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
AP? He's very rich as well.
Yeah.
Just 1,000 gold away from a Shiva's guard. It's gonna make team fights a lot harder for the execration side. It's such a hard word. Does that word mean anything, by the way?
Execration? I can tell you.
Dire's top tower is under
Ooh.
attack.
Wink
Go back.
Skewer. Reality Rift, though. 3 seconds. Still with the Impale. Nico, you've played yourself. Force that onto the low ground from Afu. He'll go and burrow down. They're onto the tier 3. Magnus, he'd probably like to not buy back.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he'll have to as SMG back away.
It was a very short score, like maybe 500 range rather than full range. Happens sometimes when you get a little bit overexcited, you just don't click far enough away. But at least that's a BKB on Dragon Knight now.
So
They're worried for the damage, though.
BKB for the Dragon Knight going into the Ags. They're going to try and make a play happen here.
That's Aegis that just ran out. They're looking for a fight here. Oh,
Yeah,
Razor is
Blink
just dead, I
Dragon
think.
Tail. Razor in a lot of trouble. The Impetus comes out with the BKB, but he dies shortly after. So a wasted BKB charge.
Yeah, that's one of those. I shouldn't have done this, BKB. I've done those a lot.
Ooh, Chaos Bolt. And
Secret-
the Ice Blast. Easy kill
He did
there.
manage
And
to BKB.
Exorcism. Now they're looking for another one. They've got themselves the Yules up into the air. BDZ caught. Trying to output some damage. Palace looking to help, but BDZ, he's just going to eat the damage and eventually die here. Moon getting the kill on that one.
Yeah. Did manage to get the BKB off on the Dragon Knight.
Oh, looking for the RP. Gonna hold it. Skewer comes out on the mid one. They've got the damage to get the kill on our Palace with the rage. Right click's coming in. Now looking for the RP once again, but the Impale lands. They get the kill on Nico, and now they're gonna look back over at Palos.
And that's 2 buybacks expended as well, with no profit whatsoever. AK Goldie now for SMG, and you can just see the power of the draft shine through now. The CK and DP in team fights are pretty much unstoppable. They deal too much damage. Like, these heroes are just perfect against these tanky cores that Execration have. Lively has to be a bit careful here. There's no Magnus though.
And no Magnus. I mean, it didn't even matter when they had the Magnus anyway. Afu was able to find him out.
They're looking like Nyx needs to die first. Oh, he's sitting at 2.4k health. Where's that coming from?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how he does die here.
Now, once he's borrowed, he basically has 4k health. More than that. So, Nyx would be a very good first kill if they can get it. Or DP before he ults, but he's very survivable.
They're gonna pop out of that infest. Just holding on to it way too long.
Yeah, after a while it gets a little bit silly, where you're like, eh.
How much are you giving up for it? Are you losing out on too much farm?
The answer is always yes.
Dragon Tail comes out, Spike hits onto 2, and now mid one's gonna come in when they've got BKB coming out from Yowie, Ice Blast, and Nico in trouble. He'll end up dead.
Yeah.
Palace just has to run north.
He's doing a good job at just pressuring the lane, though, which means that SMG can't just freely run down the lane. Might be looking.
Blink cast bolt, 3-second stun, breathe fire, overgrowth in, and now, mid one, you're mid done. And Afu, he might be in trouble too, but he lands the impale. They're gonna get the buyback coming through from Nico. They're gonna try and make something happen with this, and they'll get the return kill on Apollo, so they take the life steal over the BKB being popped by KP. Afu with another stun, Exorcism pop, Yowie in trouble, Yowie gone, no buyback on both of them. They already bought back on Nico. He'll get the 2-man RP. They're deep in the base, but will it matter? Getting hit by these tier 4s. They got that kill onto the BDZ Enchantress, and Nico's just dead again with the Ice Blast coming out from Raji. So SMG, they also kill off RR. Everybody dead on the side of Execration. SMG, I mean, they still have a tier 2 over mid for Execration, but that's a full team wipe, and really feeling like that could be the game.
Yeah, like dying at your fountain like that with 3 heroes probably doesn't feel very good. I'm not sure what the idea there was, because this DP is not gonna die if you score him into the tier 4 towers. Like, Spirit Siphon just heals him by too much. He has evasion, he has a good amount of armor, and just as you said, like 15k gold lead when your draft is at such a big disadvantage, it's just pretty tough to come back into that game. Like the last game, they didn't have better late game than you did, but this game they certainly do. And you're already on the back foot. And Roshan the spawn, why not?
Looking at this Roche.
Who's the shot going to?
CK?
Spawn illusion for... Oh, it increases the Chaos Bolt cast range, actually. That's pretty good. I like DP's shot as well, though. Where you get the fear if you siphon them long enough.
AC picked up by Moon. They're all smoked up, but it's just not in time. Now the question is, do they want to fight out of the pit? And I think the answer to that is just overwhelmingly no.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. They need a really good RP. Like, they need to kill the DP before he pops Exorcism. That's the only winning condition they have right now. Once DP pops that, it's all over.
Mid one coming in, blink into the Dragon Tail. They've got the BKB being popped by KP early into this fight with the Rage being popped by Palace. He's able to TP out, but they've got the Spike Carapace sitting onto BDZ with the Reality Rift onto the Enchantress. They'll get the kill into both supports, taking out Execration's chances in that fight pretty early on.
Yep, and how are these 3 gonna mount a defense? Because both of those supports bought back before, they're dead for quite long.
Score back into the Dragon Tail. Damage from the tier 4s. Mid one, though, he's going to be okay with the Phantasm. Oh, look at the damage coming out on Nico. Exorcism's been popped by Moon, but he's in a little far. Dragon Tail once again, and Moon surviving mid one low. But mid one, he's got that armlet to toggle.
Look, Afu just tanking all towers, and he's not really taking damage. Courtesy of being a Nyx assassin.
Down goes the mid set of racks. Still using this Exorcism to migrate over towards bottom. It'll finally end, though. Blink Dragon Tail coming through on a KP, and just gets popped. They think about retreating back. I'm not certain they really need to, but I guess maybe they're trying to bait out Execration moving forward. I mean, ages to work with.
Man, we've seen such a big influx in Aeon Disc purchases since the Major. It really just showed how good that item is.
And yet nothing has been changed about it.
Yeah. Nyx has one. Razor has one. I think we only have those two for now. But yeah, Lifesteal needs like 2 more items. One Dragon Knight needs like 2 more items. If they can win a team fight or 2 somehow, some sort of miracle, they can get back into this game. It's just looking very mighty unlikely right now.
You're basically working with 1 core on Execration.
Yeah. It's basically an offlane Dragon Knight at this point as well. And a triple support. This is what happens though. Like, you try lane top to sacrifice the Magnus. Magnus is definitely sacrificed, as you can see. And you didn't really shut down the CK at all in the process.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So smoked up towards bottom. Again, essentially trying to just close out the game. Exorcism back up, and they're gonna go.
BKB.
Doesn't get the BKB off, doesn't get his life back. You know, we will die to Raji's Ice Blast, and they're just going to burrow on the high ground. Afu's very confident in his positioning, doesn't really care about what Execration have in the tank. Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt once again, 3-second stun. They've got the silence coming out from Moon. They're going to work on this tier 3 once the glyph is gone. And when it's gone, your buildings will follow. So I'll get the tier 3. They'll look towards the racks. Smoke attempt to try and maybe get closer, make something happen. Blink 5-man RP. It's all you can really wish for.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Yeah. He has to go for a big play like this, but SMG is very disciplined. Just leaving as they take 2 sides of Rex. And yeah, they're definitely looking a lot more compact now. I like that a lot by SMG here. After a couple of early missteps that reminded us a little bit of game 1. No, they pull together as a unit and finally get it done.
Right.
Because really, like with this draft, I'm pretty sure they also know, like, they should not be having any trouble with this game.
Radiant's
Any trouble that they might think they should have should be gone at this point.
Yeah. And DP actually picked up a Wind Waker,
tower is under attack.
which is interesting because if anything, she will be the person getting focused, and you can't really Wind Waker yourself out of that. Would have liked to see an Aeon disc on him, but I don't know if it matters at this point with his
Right.
28k gold lead.
Wind Waker somebody out of an RP.
Yeah, it's just, as I said, you are the prime target. It would make more sense if somebody else had it and you had a defensive item for yourself instead, like a heart or Aeon disc or something like that.
Right.
Easy. Well, Lifestealer is close to Satanic. The bad news is AA Blast negates all of that.
And it also feels like you're close to Satanic, but nobody else has anything. So, like, yeah, and
That
Satanic's
is not
great,
true. He has a fluffy head on Magnus, okay?
but okay. Fair enough. He's getting that extra 125 health.
Yeah, he even has the Philosopher's Stone at this point.
Palace hit with a stun to start. They're going to go in and look to grab a silence, but they can't get it in time. And now they're going to look as they've got the skewer into the Dragon Tail. They've tried this time and time again. They're going to look for the RP to follow this up. Can they get the kill here onto Moon? Wind Waker himself out of the fight. They get the kill into Palace. He's going to be forced to buy back immediately as they take on Nico as well as RR. They're going to chase into the rest of the base. They've got the silence onto the 3 heroes left on the side of Execration. Finally comes the buyback from RR. Everybody back here for Execration. They're trying to throw everything they can in the kitchen sink, but it's not looking likely that they're going to win this fight or this game. Palos goes down, so does Nico, and that's going to be the end of game number 2, and they'll even the series up at 1.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the game went pretty much like we expected it to go, and it's a pretty uneventful game, honestly. It's a massive outdraft. I think Execration played pretty well, all things considered. But it was just never going to happen. Like, these teams are on the same caliber, I'd say. And if teams are evenly matched, like an outdraft like this just usually leads to this sort of showing. Gotta go back to the drafting board.
Yeah.
Figure out, like, you can't really lock yourself into these kind of heroes this early on. Like, the first 3 picks, I think, were Eng, DK, Treant. That already screams lack of damage.
It didn't feel like they really had enough damage at any point throughout the game either.
Yeah, and they didn't itemize into damage on the heroes. He went first item Sanj, and then first item Blink on DK. Just nobody had any sort of right-click damage. I'm just gonna check the damage done real quick. Yeah, Eng actually dealt the most damage of all of them, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, Pal is
Even more
just
than
short.
Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy there that Ench is the one who does output the most damage, but at the end of the day, that is game number 2 going to SMG, and we'll be back with game number 3 in just a moment. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.